To impress others, tell them about your successes and how you achieve them. To impact others, tell them about your mistakes and how you fix them.
There's so much knowledge out there, so much information, so many ways to get better, and we make so many mistakes. We're the product of our mistakes, and oftentimes the lesson is sitting there right in front of our face. It's there to be learned, but we miss it, or we don't pay attention to it, or we think we know better until it punches us in the face.
Life isn't perfect. We all know that. But yet, it's like we expect so much perfection from ourselves, and we beat ourselves up instead of patting ourselves on the back. And a lot of times we label a season as our life. We label a chapter as our life, or chapters that we're going through as our life. We allow the pain to become an identity. We allow the mistakes to become who we are. And I just want to tell you, like, you're not your mistakes. You're not your past. And I get it. Like, a lot of people will try to put that label on you as you try to change your life. You know, people will keep you as who you were when you were beneficial to their life. They don't want you to grow, because when you grow, that means that you change. And sometimes when you change, that means that you're no longer around those certain type of people. And so don't let people chain you to your past. Don't make you feel less because your life isn't perfect. Nobody's life is perfect. That's not an excuse to just live life whatever type of way. But I see so many people, you know, in their story because of chapters, and I don't want that to be you. You deserve so much more. There's more to your life. There's more to be written, and never forget that fact.
Stop fearing mistakes. Hubbard was right when he said the greatest mistake one can make in life is to be continually fearing that you will make one. They're messages that give us feedback about life. They're interruptions that should cause us to reflect and think. They direct us, if we allow them, to the right path. All mistakes are tests that are designed to make us mature. They are keys that we try when unlocking the next door of opportunity. They are explorers that allow us to journey where we have never been before. They are statements about our development and our progress.
You get one shot at this gig right here. Life. One life. That's all you've got. And regret, in and of itself, it's worthless. It does nothing for you. In fact, the only valuable thing in regret is the lesson you learned, the knowledge that you gained. But walking around filled with regret, it gets you nothing.
This is what I'm going through. It's not what I'm stuck in. That's so true, because sometimes we go through these moments and we feel like this is it. You know, we feel like this is the end. And I want to be clear with you. Some things have to end so better things can begin. Sometimes you have to end certain relationships, end certain friendships, end certain addictions in your life to grow into something better. And the more you hold on to what you shouldn't be holding on to, the less you'll grow into who you need to become.
Do you want progress or perfection the most? Do you want to go through life making no mistakes, or do you want to go through life making progress? Focus on progress, not mistakes. If you're going to focus on something, focus on the progression that you're making, not the mistakes that you're making. Teddy Roosevelt said, "He who makes no mistakes makes no progress."
And the most important thing to learn is that we have so much to learn. We all do. And we can learn from school and from people and from experience, and we learn from life. But you have to process the information. You have to absorb it. You have to accept it. You have to open your mind. You got to free your mind so that you can learn and make real progress.
The moment you see mistakes in the right perspective, do you see what good friends they become of you? Doesn't this make sense? Embrace them. Embrace them instead of fear.
So many things go wrong when you're starting a company, and often I think people ask, what mistakes should you avoid making? And My answer to that question is don't even bother trying to avoid mistakes because you're going to make tons of mistakes, right? And the important thing is actually learning quickly from whatever mistakes you make and not giving up.
The size of the person, not the size of his mistakes, determines success or failure. I've known people make some pretty big mistakes and turn around and do well. I learned a long time ago, it's not the size of the mistake, it's the size of the person. A big man is not one who makes no mistakes. He's just one who's bigger than any mistakes that he makes. We must be big enough to admit our mistakes, smart enough to profit from them, and strong enough to correct them.
When you can watch someone who is ahead of you in the game, and you can observe their mistakes, and you can see their decision making, and you can see what works and what doesn't work, that's one of the most valuable opportunities to learn possible. Because when you can learn from somebody else's failure, it allows you to avoid that failure, which costs you time and energy and money. When you look at who you're going to learn from, and you look at what information you're going to value, you should absolutely pay the most attention to the people who are crushing it in the area that you want to crush it as well. But you should also pay attention to the people who have failed, because the people who have failed can teach you not only not how to fail, but they can save you time and money by teaching you this.
So learn and move on. Don't let regret beat you down. Don't be a slave to regret. No. Let it teach you. Let it make you better. Let the fear of regret fuel you to take action today, now, to take action now to become a better person, not filled with regret, but filled with knowledge. Filled with knowledge and strength and power and filled with life. How do you overcome fear of failure or fear of success or fear of fear itself? You step. And how do you face the fear of the unknown? You step. Don't wait anymore. Don't think anymore. Don't plan anymore. Don't contemplate anymore. Don't make any more excuses or justifications. Don't rationalize anything else. No, no, and no. Instead, be aggressive. Take action now. And what is the first action that you need to take? What's the first step you need to take? The first step you need to take is just that. Step.
Take that first step. Do whatever it is that you thought you couldn't do, and don't be afraid, because that is the most important moment in your life. And then you'll realize it's not so bad. Okay, people are making fun of me, I failed, but they never tried anything. I at least tried it, and now I have an idea for my next one. It wasn't so bad. But if you never make that first step, I don't care, the wisdom of Solomon won't be able to help you. You'll always be stopping before you can. So you've got to have the guts to make that first step, and then the doors will open for you.
You're a smart person. You do know. You know exactly what to do, but you don't do it because maybe you don't believe in yourself. Maybe you're so scared of what happens if you actually win. But all I can say is let that shit go. All that chatter in your mind. All you gotta do is take that first step. And don't focus on a year or 2 years or 5 years from now. You don't know where you're gonna be. Just put one foot forward in front of the other.
I found that nothing in life is worthwhile unless you take risks. Nothing. Nelson Mandela said, "There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living." Now, I'm sure in your experiences in school and applying to college and picking your major and deciding what you want to do with life, I'm sure people have told you to make sure you have something to fall back on. Make sure you got something to fall back on, honey. But I never understood that concept, having something to fall back on. If I'm going to fall, I don't want to fall back on anything except my faith. I want to fall forward. I figure at least this way I'll see what I'm going to hit.
As Naval Ravikant said, the only way to truly learn something is by doing it. Yes, listen to guidance, but don't wait.
It's all risky. The minute you were born, it got risky. If you think trying is risky, wait till they hand you the bill for not trying. If you think investing is risky, wait till you get the tab for not investing. See, it's all risky. Getting married is risky. Having children is risky. Going into business is risky. Investing your money is risky. It's all risky. I'll tell you how risky life is. You're not going to get out alive. That's risky.
Well, you should be afraid of taking risks and pursuing something meaningful. But you should be more afraid of staying where you are if it's making you miserable. It's like the first thing you want to do is dispense with the idea that you get to have any permanent security outside of your ability to contend and adapt. It's the same issue with children. It's like you're paying a price by sitting there being miserable. You might say, well, the devil I know is better than the one I don't. It's like, don't be so sure of that. The clock is ticking.
Yeah,
and if you're miserable in your job now and you change nothing, in 5 years, you'll be much more miserable and you'll be a lot older.
You have to take chances in life. If you don't take chances in life, you'll never have the life God has for you. Life is about risk. If you play it safe in life, you ain't gonna have much of a life. If you play it safe, you won't have much of a life. Life is risk. It takes courage to pursue your dream. I just did it. It cost me everything, but eventually, God is very good, man, when he sees you take a leap of faith. He supplies you everything you need. Now, it's gonna cost you something, but most people are not willing to pay what it costs to go after your dream, because you're gonna have to hurt a little bit. And most people don't like being uncomfortable. If you don't want to be uncomfortable, please do not pursue success, because success is a very uncomfortable feeling. I've learned to be comfortable being uncomfortable. If you can get that in your head, this too shall pass. Every moment of everything you've ever gone through, God got you through it. You didn't even realize it. He just got you through it. You can't name one thing he didn't pull you through. Well, I lost my mother. I'm still grieving over that. I lost my mama 21 years ago. I still grieve over it, but I'm here. You know, I got through it. You're gonna get through it. But you gotta take chance in life, man. Can't play it safe, y'all. You gotta jump, you gotta go for it.
Every failed experiment is one step closer to success. You've got to take risks, and I'm sure you've probably heard that before. You will fail at some point in your life, accept it. You will lose. You will embarrass yourself. You will suck at something. There's no doubt about it. If you don't fail, you're not even trying. To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did.
Take the first step in faith. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. You've just got to believe that you can learn. You don't have to believe that you're already capable of doing what you want. You don't have to believe that you can already build that thing that you dream. You don't have to believe that you already are extraordinary. You simply have to believe that if you take that first step, you put yourself on a journey not of execution, you put yourself on a journey of learning so that you can execute. And that, when you understand that difference, that's when you really will be on that path to greatness. And that is the thing that I want for everybody listening to this. Please understand, the only thing you need to know is that you have to take the first step. Whatever the vision is that you have for your life, you absolutely can make it come true. And the process is very simple. The process is about learning. The process is about growing and getting better. It's about recognizing what you're not good at. It's about recognizing what you have to learn. It's about taking that first step on faith that you can get better, not on faith that you're great, on faith that you can become the greatest of all time. And once you have that faith, once you know that simply being a human being puts you in this rare category of creature that can get better through pressure, through pain, through difficulty, through failure, those are the things that are going to be the building blocks of your success. But in order to begin on that road, in order to have your first glorious failure, you must first take that first step.
Discipline does start with waking up early. It really does. But that is just the beginning. And I always say that discipline is the root of all good qualities, but you have to absolutely apply it to things outside of just waking up early. It's everything. It's working out every day, making yourself stronger and faster and more flexible and healthier. Discipline is eating the right foods to fuel your system. It's about disciplining your emotions so you can make good decisions. It's about having the discipline to control your ego so your ego doesn't get out of hand and control you. It's about treating people the way you would want to be treated. And doing the tasks that you don't necessarily want to do, but that you know will help you or help your team. It's about facing your fears. It takes discipline to face your fears so you can conquer them. And that's what discipline is. Discipline means taking the hard road, the uphill road, to do what's right for yourself and for other people. It's so often the easy path that calls to us to be weak for that moment, to break down for that moment, to give in to the desire and the short-term gratification. But the discipline will not allow that. The discipline calls for strength and fortitude and will. It won't accept weakness. It won't tolerate another breakdown. The discipline can seem like it's your worst enemy. But the reality is, discipline is your best friend. It will take care of you like nothing else can. And it'll put you on that path. The path to strength and health and intelligence and happiness. And most importantly, it'll put you on that path to freedom.
So dreamer out there, you that's watching this video, you know, I hear you saying how bad you want it. I hear you saying that you'll do anything to get it. But I got a question for you. Are you really about that life? Are you really willing to sacrifice what you like just to get what you love? You know, partying every weekend might be fun, but is it helping you live your dreams? If it ain't helping you live your dream, then why do it? If it ain't helping you live the life that you want to live, then why do it? In order to move up, there's some things you must be willing to give up straight up. You know, discipline isn't about saying no to the things you hate. That's easy. Discipline is about saying no to the things you like that don't help you get the things you love. So if you say you want a relationship, then why are you saying yes to the things that keep you single? If you say you want to be healthy, then why are you constantly saying yes to the things that keep you out of shape? If you say you want to be great, then why are you saying yes to the things that keep you average? Look, success isn't for the most talented. Success is for the most disciplined. It's for the people who have tattooed their purpose on their heart, so everything they do moves them closer to their dreams. You gotta master choosing the harder right than the easier wrong. You gotta master understanding what you want most is way more important than what you want now. You gotta master doing what's best for your life regardless of how you feel. You gotta master saying no to the things that don't get you your yes. You can't be doing what everybody else is doing and expect to be great. Lock in. You don't get to be the 1% who's special by doing what the other 99% do. Lock in. You know, discipline is the bridge between your goals and accomplishments. And the only person that can construct that bridge is you. You know, discipline might be painful at times, but I promise you this, regret sure does hurt a whole lot worse. I want you to ask yourself this question right now. Will this behavior, how I'm living my life right now, get me to the place where my dreams rest?
You don't get discipline from your parents, from your grandparents, from your older brothers and sisters. You don't get discipline from an external source. You have to get it from you. That's what self-discipline is. You get it from yourself. You get it from you. And if you want to blame other people for the problem, and I say this all the time, if you don't take ownership of the problem's not going to get solved. So if you blame your parents for not having raised you in a disciplined environment, you're not going to solve that problem. You're looking at your parents saying, if you would have done a better job being more disciplined for me, I would be more disciplined now. So that means you can't do anything. The fact of the matter is it's wrong. You actually can do something. And it doesn't matter how your parents raised you and brought you up. You can have the discipline you need to decide to do it.
If you would like to discipline yourself, which is a very good idea, pick a direction you want to go first. Pick a goal you would like to attain, a medium to long-term goal. You might imagine something you need and want, some attainment that would motivate, whose pursuit would motivate you. And you can ask yourself that. It's a good question to ask yourself in general, If you could have what you needed and wanted, what would that be? And that's a meditative question. You don't want to force an answer out of yourself. You want to ask yourself that like you would ask someone else. If I could have what I wanted, what would that look like? And you can ask yourself that in a more differentiated way. If I could have the relationship that I needed and wanted, if I could have the friendships, if I could have the job or career, if I could have the educational pathway, if I could adopt civic responsibility, if I could engage in some creative enterprise. The next goal is to take your goal and to fragment it into micro goals until you find a micro goal that's small enough that it still presents some challenge that you will do.
The Marines have a saying, everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. And that's just real. At the center of bringing any dream into fruition is self-discipline. Something as simple as food and eating. It's not about your body as much as it is about your mind. It's getting command of your mind to be able to choose actions that are in your own best interest. Every day, we are choosing shit that's not in our own best interest, right? So if the world is attacking you and the world wants to fight you and the world's trying to hold you down, so you're going to kick yourself in the balls? So you're going to stop yourself from getting what you dream. Self-discipline is the center of all material success. You cannot win the war against the world if you can't win the war against your own mind.